Hello, everybody. Hi, H. Davis. Hello, how are you doing? I hope everybody had a great day today. We're all going to be sick with it hot one day and cold the next. It's cold here again today. My God. Hello. You're okay, you guess. Well, don't guess. Cheer up. It's all going to be okay. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Yo. How you doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing good. I wanted to come in and see y'all for a few minutes. Hey, Miss Millie. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. Everybody catching up on their after Christmas things, all those things, whatever it is you do after Christmas. I know Annabella was taking down her tree. Hello, Lorraine. Good to see you. Welcome. Ricky Beavers in the house. Love you, Ricky. Merry Christmas, and I hope you're going to have a happy new year. How are you feeling? Tell me how you're feeling, Ricky, because we've been praying for you. I was so worried about you for a while. I was so worried. I hope you're home now and at least recuperating. But please know we send all of our love and prayers. So hello. Yeah, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'm trying to figure out New Year's. Oh, y'all, I want to show you the cup my son got me. I know it's not morning. It's my grown son. I love the colors. R2 Country Girl. Hello. Your daughter surprised you. She came home. Oh, yay. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Pamela, hello. Good to see you. Ricky said, I'm okay, honey. Thanks for asking. I'm going to get a second opinion. Oh, please don't tell me Skyline Hospital in Nashville. Lord have mercy. Not Skyline in Nashville. Or are you in a different place? I'm just going to tell you straight up, if you get a second opinion, don't go to Skyline in Nashville, honey. Please. I'm just saying, Ricky, that's you and your business. But if it's Nashville, please don't get a second opinion at Skyline. But prayers, many prayers. Sorry, Skyline. It is what it is. But no, Ricky, we have been so worried about you. Hey, not crazy, but crazy lady. Hello. So I wanted to come on here. There was a couple of things that I wanted to come on here this evening for. I know he did good. I'm like, and the colors, I am like, he's like, yeah, I figured you could use that for your YouTube. I said, yeah. There's probably some up there in the bushes, but that's okay. But I do love the colors. Absolutely. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good Christmas. Thank you all for praying. Prayers work. I do love you all. Thank you so much. Let's find Sebastian Rogers. That's right. Green hearts, praying hands. I was hoping that we would find him before Christmas. Not me, we, because I know that it's going to be somebody way above that. But hopefully he will be found soon. Can't let that discourage us. And we just have to keep moving. I did find out some interesting things. I was watching CJ a while ago. And y'all might want to drop. He's still probably on. So you might, anyway, drop his link, Millie. And there was something interesting he was talking about. We'll get to all that in a minute. We'll get to it in a minute. But I just found out. Hey, Garrett, did you email about new laws for Tennessee starting in the new year? Oh, thank you, R2 Country Girl. Okay, good. Funny Face Brenda. Oh yeah, hold on a minute. I gotta give her the address. I can't even spell it. It's my phone. Okay. Anyway, if that don't, it's fine if you don't. I think Millie's in here too. But yeah, drop drop CJ's link if you can, and we'll go over some of that. I wanted to let you know I also got a chance to watch The Deception Detective, and it was about Chris Proudfoot and, different things like that. We will watch some of that, and it was on the stepdad of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and his opinions on that. And that was the one that Elevated Truth did the other night. He said that he did a good job, better than Nancy Grace. Whoa. So I didn't get to watch the very end of it, so we'll be watching that together, I guess. Hey, Mike. Mike said he's all ears. Me and Mike's been going back and forth on that. Thank you, Mike. But anyway, yeah. You heard what I said earlier. I said he likes his poker chips. He likes his full decks. I don't even know anymore. I really don't even know. But anyway, he was talking about Chris Proudfoot, of course, and he tries to break up all the deceiving things of everybody. Deception. He's a deception detective. Okay, so we will watch some of that. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, as you know, was 15 years old when he went missing from his Tennessee home, Hendersonville, Tennessee home. Now, this is the interesting part we're going to talk about tonight, because I even made a phone call. No, I didn't record it. I didn't have to, because it said, we record you. So I figure if it's that important, then they can pull the dang recording. I didn't feel like doing all that. Okay. But here's the thing. So, first of all, we know Sebastian, he was 15 when he was started missing. Was it February 25th or 26th? CJ brought up a good point. So right dead in his live, it got me thinking, and I started making some calls. But anyway, we know he has brown hair, brown eyes, approximately 120 pounds. At least that's what it said, right? But now it's been 10 months. 10 months. And still nothing. Where's Sebastian? What happened to him? What happened to Sebastian? Okay. And it matters. We want to know. It matters. Also, and if you want to print the flyers, Seth, his biological father, is asking that you at least print 10 out. If you can at least print 10, and you can, put them up in your neighborhood area, every state, somebody might see it. That would be great. If you're traveling, anywhere that you go that you think, hand out at a store, hand out at a friendly customer you might see walking up, anything that you want to do, do it. Okay. And as you know, here's some numbers you can call if you need to call, if you have any information. Nothing's too silly or too small or anything like that. But we'll go with first, put out the 10 flyers in hopes that anyone sees him. Okay. And his dad, I know his dad, Seth, and I'm not saying anybody else hadn't. I'm just saying actions speak louder than words. Although we did see Chris, we have to give him some prompts. But why? Out there searching this weekend. 10 months later. I'm just saying. Okay. So, but thank you. Thank you, Chris, for doing that. We do appreciate that. Very much so. Anyway, I don't know why I'm thanking him, but yes, thank you for doing that. If you could do that a couple of days a week, that would be great. You and Miss Chris. Okay. So, actually, Seth has always gave us, thank you. Seth has always gave us hope, and he's always kept hope that his son is alive, no matter what any of us thinks, ever. And now I'm like CJ, we all are confused on some of this stuff right now. But that's okay too. We'll work through it. As I saw the deception detective, we now have his opinion. We now have his opinion, and we'll go over that. Shall we do that now? Because I want to tell y'all about my phone call in a little bit, but we'll go over the detective, I think, now. Absolutely, Ricky. Ricky said, I love me some Seth. Now that man's real people talk, I do believe. Me too. Me too. Absolutely. All right, so let's just get him on here. Uh-oh, got to do how to detect a lie. Okay, hold on.
The only upside of this annoying tactic is that it's a great tell that you're hitting on something sensitive to Chris. So hopefully panels in the future will have seen my video and can recognize it when he does it. What happened to Sebastian Rogers? Let's watch his stepdad's appearance on the Elevated Truth podcast to find out. I've seen part of this, but I wanted to react to it with all of you. So let's go ahead and listen.
So I'm going to bring Chris up. So here we go.
All right.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Hey, Chris, what's up, man?
What's going on? I want to know what's this talk that somebody on this panel is saying that I told you that my truck was in that neighborhood the night Sebastian went missing or the night before.
That's not what was said. What was said was you said that your truck's Wi-Fi was in the cart when the cart team did their thing from on the 25th or the 26th. And I also restated that it could have very well been when you came home after Sebastian went missing.
So that would have to been the 26th when I got to my house.
That's what we said.
That's what we said.
Chris. That's exactly what we said.
Before we get too deep, let me just bring everyone to the table. Sebastian Rogers is an autistic teen who went missing sometime between the evening on February 25th and early the next morning. Chris Proudfoot, the guy on the call here, is his stepdad. And he says that he was out of town on work until the 26th when he was called and told that Sebastian was missing, and then he drove home. That's why he's so adamant that his truck didn't connect to the Wi-Fi at the house until the afternoon of the 26th. In other words, Chris has an alibi. But that doesn't mean he's clueless about the disappearance or even uninvolved. For example, he could have said something to Sebastian that evening on the phone, which caused him to run away. Or his wife, Katie, who was the only adult with Sebastian at the time, could have done something to Sebastian, whether it was by accident or on purpose, and then confided in Chris. And now he's hiding that information in order to protect her. So we still need to listen closely. And from the other interviews I've analyzed of him with Nancy Grace, Web Sleuths, the local news, there's plenty of signs that he knows more than he's letting on.
My truck wasn't in the area, the vicinity. The FBI knows this. So don't speak of my truck being in that vicinity, that area, until the 26th at 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
That's what we said.
Well, not the time frame, but
Not the time
Well, now
frame,
you know
because we
the
didn't know
time
the
frame.
time. But what we said was that they did it for the 25th and the 26th. So it's just as much likely that it was when he came in after Sebastian went missing.
Yeah, and that's why I was confused because I was like, "What?" And then that's why I said it had to have been when he came home.
See, even they
Or,
got
The
you
problem
confused
is
in a
you get
minute.
a bunch of people out
They
here.
had second
You say
thoughts,
one thing,
not
you mean one
confusion, in my
thing,
opinion.
and this, that, and another, and then it runs wild like a fucking brush fire that goes crazy.
it's true.
And here we are. We're 10 months into this. We got no leads. We got nothing. But yet we got another team over here that's out here just throwing shade left and right and a bunch of crap.
That's what we're talking about. We think it's very dangerous. People are being thrown under the bus, and nobody seems to fucking care.
Who's in the back chat?
I have no idea. Hold on.
It's that fucking psycho
And that happened, John.
under Chris's name too.
Yeah.
Proudfoot.
I see it in the back chat. Yeah.
So
I don't-
who is this person?
I
I
don't know.
don't-
I do. That's the person that's attached to that woman that accused you, Clue, of having something
I
to
have
do
no
with
idea
the
who it is, to be honest with you.
What the hell's her name again? She was making those anti-Seth videos, and out of nowhere, she went nuts on us. Remember?
Momming it
You
up.
talking about momming it up?
Oh, that
Yeah.
freaky bitch.
That-
From the snippets I've seen of this panel did a better interview than Nancy Grace. And I'll link my analysis of her interview of Chris and Katie at the end of this video so you can watch that next to compare and contrast. That said, they did the hard part of getting Chris Proudfoot to call into their show. I've extended multiple invitations for him to do an interview with me, and I've been rebuffed every time. So they have him there. They have him talking about his truck,
That would be
essentially his
interesting.
alibi, and when it connected to the home Wi-Fi. And what do? They sideline Chris to talk about some behind-the-scenes drama with some other creator who's trying to join the live stream. Instead, what I really wish they had done is challenge him on that alibi. They had the perfect opportunity and segue to do it. For example, they could have said, does your truck connect to any other Wi-Fis automatically? Does it connect to the Wi-Fi at your workplace? Would logs show us when your truck disconnected from the workplace Wi-Fi? Does your truck have GPS as well? If we check the logs, would it show us the route you took and all the stops you made? Would there be any unusual stops? Another thing I wanted to point out, though, is that Chris also seems to have gotten distracted by the creator drama. If you've seen my analysis of other parents of missing children who genuinely don't know what happened to their kid, they typically have an agenda when they have an audience, whether it's asking for help or asking for prayers or providing updates or giving out a phone number for people to call with tips. So as we listen on, let's listen to see if Chris does any of that, or is he just here for the drama or to be on the defensive or some other purpose?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, she just said, I'm psycho, LMFAO. Yep, you psycho as fuck.
Says
and you
Chris,
need a
tell
bitch.
them to let MK Ultra in.
And
Yeah.
you need a bitch.
Well, I
It ain't
blocked
my
the
show to. It ain't my show to control who gets in and who gets out.
I wouldn't let them in for anything. Those people are fucking
No.
sus.
So I'm not even going to pay attention to that. What I want to talk about is what we're doing up here, right? The point of this situation is that all of the bullshit has got to fucking stop. All of it. The putting shit behind the scenes for creators to talk about. Seth needs to stop it. Chris and Katie need to stop it.
Well, hold on.
And
Let me
either-
stop you there because we ain't putting stuff out behind the scenes.
Bullshit.
Well, Chris, can I
What
ask
are
you
we?
about
Hold
the
on. What are we
dance?
putting out
Bullshit.
behind the
Hey.
scenes?
Chris, don't put me in this position. Don't do it.
I love
Do
this.
not pull my man card. Chris, don't pull my man card and put me in this position.
I ain't pulling anybody's man card.
Chris, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do not put me in this position.
Well, the way you're making it sound is a little odder than it may be true. So maybe instead of getting like that with him, because he may not know what you're referring to, because to be
Yes,
honest,
he does.
but it's for Sebastian, right?
I'm not up here to have an issue with you, Chris. I just sat here and said, I don't think you have anything to do with the disappearance of your stepson. But do not put me in the position of you saying that there's not shit being pushed behind closed doors when you know damn well there has been.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they're creating a thing out there that we're afraid of. We
I don't
haven't
think there
done
is either.
anything. Hold on. Let me finish. Because this isn't about fucking sides. Once again, when all these creators can get past this shit and finally focus back on Sebastian, then the case might go somewhere. But it won't go anywhere if everybody is out here putting different narratives out there that don't need to be out there.
We all agree on that.
I don't agree, actually. As reasonable as Chris's statement sounds, well, don't put all these narratives out there that don't need to be out there. It's actually a giant red flag. Because if you don't know what happened, there's no way to know which narratives are useful and which aren't. On your screen now is my spotting hoaxes card from my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation. And one of the best signs that someone is hoaxing, in other words, pushing a narrative that they know isn't true, is conclusiveness. It's impossible to say what's relevant or irrelevant, or which tips are a waste of time and which ones are good if you have no idea what happened. And since I can predict the comments, I agree that it's possible Chris simply just meant he doesn't want his and Katie's personal lives plastered all over social media. And that's fair enough. But the question still remains, how do you know which elements of those personal lives are irrelevant? Remember, Chris wasn't there when Sebastian went missing. So how can he be so sure that nothing in Katie's past, or her medical history, or financial history, or history with Seth, or any other person he doesn't know about, wasn't a factor in Sebastian's disappearance?
Exactly.
I wasn't there, so I can't rule any of it out. And Chris shouldn't be able to either, unless he has some sort of idea of what happened.
Right, but that includes
So once
everybody,
again,
Chris.
Yeah, that includes everybody. And I'm going to tell you something. If you come at me sideways or you come at my family sideways, you can bet your tail that when we bring the proof, it's proof.
Okay. Right
It's
here.
plain and simple.
Well, that's the thing, Chris. No one is
I don't throw
accusing.
shade at
What proof, I ask? When they bring the proof, when he brings the proof, when Katie and Chris bring the proof, I mean, they bring the receipts and the proof. Well, I don't know if I missed anything or not, or anything like that, but where is the proof? What proof? Proof of what? What have they proved? That's what I'd like to know. What has he proved? He goes around every answer, every question, tries to take focus off of it, in my opinion, and that's with everybody that has interviewed him. But his proof of what? Where is his proof? He tells everybody, we can't talk about that, call the law. Why? Hey, Mama, the OG. Hello. Metal Dust. Yeah, CP isn't privy to the proof. So he wants to send you on a wild goose chase. Absolutely. Yeah, that part right there, I just had to stop it because I'm just like, what proof?
people. I bring the proof. That's the difference.
About what?
Whatever.
What?
Y'all want to come out and say some shit, come out and say it.
Who is said? What are you worried about someone saying? Like,
It doesn't.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
the
know. Hold
problem.
on. I don't know
That's
how
the
much.
problem. Because you all come out and say different things, and you all have your little riddle ways of putting shit out there.
I think you're confusing us with different people. Never have we done riddles.
Truth out
Never.
there yesterday or the other day said some stuff about Katie.
Like what, Chris? Open that can.
I don't have the exact quote on me, okay?
Well, if you're
I
going to
don't.
accuse me on my panel, be willing to back it up.
I am willing to back it up. If
Throw
I
it
had
through,
the exact
Chris.
quote, I would give it to you.
What was it about?
In regards to whether or not Katie was there or her going to the school looking for Sebastian.
You mean my question of why did Katie go to the school? Is it because Sebastian had maybe missed the bus and had walked there at some point? You're upset about that?
The way it was projected made it sound like you're questioning why did she even go to the school in the first place?
That's exactly what I was asking. Why,
Because she's a mother who has a son that goes to that school.
Right.
Why wouldn't you go to the school and look for your kid?
I would agree with that.
Why?
I would have been there too.
I would have done the
My
same.
question was,
Ricky, I personally
my
don't,
question
but that's
was,
just me, and I'll
was
never
there a
change.
history
But I don't know,
of
man.
Sebastian walking to school, which is why she first thought, let me go to the school. Now, if you took that as me being disrespectful, that wasn't what it was. It was, why was her first thought go to the school?
Answer to think about too.
Okay, so
it's a Monday morning. He was supposed to be at school.
Pop quiz. What does Chris Proudfoot have in common with Jerry McCann, John Ramsey, Jen Soto, Don Wells, and to a degree, Chris Watts? At least one of their kids mysteriously vanished while under the care of their spouse or significant other, yet they're absolutely certain that spouse had nothing to do with it. In other words, they're certain about something that there's no evidence for, which goes right back to my point about conclusiveness. If he wasn't around, he should at least be a bit curious about why Katie took a drive the day his stepson was reported missing. In fact, I'm sure he's aware of the Madeline Soto case, which I've also covered on the channel. A little girl who was the same age as Sebastian and actually disappeared on the same day. And he might even know that it was her mom's boyfriend who killed her and dropped her body off in the next town over under the guise of driving her to school. Now, I'm not implying that's what Katie did. Personally, I think she was actually searching for Sebastian. But once again, I can't rule it out because I wasn't there. I'm at least curious about it. And the fact that Chris gets so defensive when Truth asks a very reasonable question about that is a red flag to me. He's even more defensive about what Katie was doing than his own alibi. And I think that's because Katie ultimately is the one who was responsible for Sebastian going missing. And she confided in Chris about it, and he's made the decision to defend her. Which is why he doesn't display any curiosity, but also he doesn't display any guilt. For example, he's not like the McCanns or the Wells who are pushing a kidnapping narrative. And I think in this next segment, we're going to see him get very sensitive about Katie. So pay attention.
A parent out there who has children, they're going to do the exact same thing.
I mean, if my child was missing, I would be out screaming from the rooftops for him.
And you're saying that she's not.
I'm absolutely saying she is not out screaming from the rooftops for her child.
What you don't know happens behind closed doors.
That's not screaming from the rooftops.
Wait a minute.
No one...
I love how he. Okay, Millie, I'll rewind it a little bit. I loved how he told him Katie absolutely was not out looking. I loved that. And he said, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. And they were like, you can't find him. You know, that wasn't exact verbatim. We're going to rewind it a little bit. Miss Millie Molly was not paying attention in class. Millie, can you stop sending love notes, honey? Class is in for just a few more minutes, okay? I'm teasing, Millie. All right, hold on. Let me rewind it a bit.
Display any curiosity, but also he doesn't display any guilt. For example, he's not like the McCanns or the Wells who are pushing a kidnapping narrative. And I think in this next segment, we're going to see him get very sensitive about Katie. So pay attention.
A parent out there who has children, they're going to do the exact same thing.
I mean, if my child was missing, I would be out screaming from the rooftops for him.
And you're saying that she's not.
I'm absolutely saying she is not out screaming from the rooftop for her child.
What you don't know happens behind closed doors.
That's not screaming from the rooftops.
Wait a minute.
If no one can hear her.
The problem is every time that somebody comes out and does something or says something, it gets twisted and turned in such a negative light. It doesn't matter who it is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
That's true. 100%.
I don't disagree with you on that. But when
So once again, you're out here saying this.
Hold on. No, I'm out here saying this because I've said that. Hold on. I've said this to you and Katie personally, have I not?
You have, Truth. And
Okay.
what you don't
I'm not,
understand
hold
is
on.
you're not here in this situation. You're not seeing the whole picture.
Hold on. Now, when I had that conversation with you, was it one conversation, 10 conversations?
Truth, we've had several conversations.
Okay. Now, did I ever have that conversation with you with any ill intent whatsoever?
No.
Okay.
Not well.
So why are
hold
you
on,
mad at
wait.
me?
Let me.
Why are you mad? Because I'm asking questions. Because I want,
I'm mad.
just
Hold
like
on.
you want,
Well, let me answer your
Sebastian to be
question.
home.
I mean,
Let me
you
answer
gotta
your
give her a chance
question.
to talk, Truth. To be fair,
So automatically, my phone has
Thank you,
been blowing up
Veronica.
ever since you started talking about my truck.
Y'all hit the thumbs up for me, please.
So it's shit like that when it's put out there and you don't have the right information, which I'm pretty sure I've told you that before.
I said
that
exactly
when my
what you
truck
just
was
said.
there. Once again, are you going to let me finish?
If you'll listen to what I say and repeat it
I was
correctly,
trying
sure.
to, but I was trying to finish my statement.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
So I've told you this before. And the cat's out of the bag. FBI looked into me a long time ago. They've tracked my whereabouts with no problems. So when you come out here and somebody makes a statement, and then once again, like I've said before, you say something and 50,000 people take it and they run with it and they twist and turn it. You could bet your sweet ass this conversation will be twisted within less than probably an hour of the show being over, if not twisted now.
Just twisted.
somebody's
Yeah.
live. Somebody's live.
Yeah, but
Oh,
here's
they're
the
all in
thing.
the chat.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
true.
how people. It doesn't matter how people twist it, right? Like they're going to
For
twist
you, it
everything.
doesn't matter
You just-
because you're not
hold
living
on.
this life that we live.
Are you going to let me?
Chris has been on this live stream for about 10 minutes at this point. Has he addressed any potential kidnappers? Has he addressed Sebastian, who might be watching? Has he asked for help in the form of donations, tips, prayers, or even
Not
given
even a
a call to
prayer.
action like a tip line? He hasn't done any of that. In fact, he hasn't even given an update on the case. And there was actually a big one right before this live stream. A few days prior, Dog the Bounty Hunter posted the last known footage of Sebastian alive, I think at the Texas Roadhouse Grill. So we don't have any of that from Chris here. He doesn't seem to have the same priorities or agenda as actual parents of missing children. And you don't need to take my word for that. You can go to my channel and watch me analyze parents who are confirmed to have had their kids kidnapped for examples of what they do when they get media attention. The second thing I want to point out is a tactic I've seen Chris use twice now. The first time was in my video, Do Innocent People Get Angry?, where he did something similar with web sleuths. Basically, the tactic is to call into the show accusing hosts of saying something incorrect. In that one, it was something about his parents traveling to Alaska the day after Sebastian went missing. In this one, it's about them allegedly saying his truck connected to the Wi-Fi on the 25th instead of the 26th. And whenever the panel gets close to something sensitive to him, he circles back to that accusation and puts them on the defensive. In other words, I don't think it's a coincidence that they were talking about Katie and her unusual silence when he brought up his truck connecting to the Wi-Fi once again. There's really no reason
In
to be
my
circling back
opinion.
to it now. It's a deflection tactic we've also seen Don Wells use with YouTubers.
Hi, Adam.
So let's see how Truth handles it and see if he can get the conversation back on track to where it should be. He's most sensitive about Katie. That's what they should be doubling down on.
It's simple.
Are you going to let me finish? Because I'm listening to you, right? You cannot come on here and act like I'm doing something wrong because I'm paying attention to you and Katie, and you have no problem with everybody throwing shade at Seth. You have no problem with that. Okay, you can't come on here and pick apart something I'm saying because you don't agree with it
Brown Eyed
now.
Girl, is that what you mean?
But you sit there and have no problem with people attacking Seth.
And that's
I
elevated
had
truth.
problems when I
That's
gave
not
you the
fair.
truth.
And
I
that's
have a problem when I
deception,
gave you the
detective.
truth.
What truth? What truth?
I told you about my truck.
Is that not what I just said on my live? I literally said what you said. So why are you arguing with me about that?
Because there's a lot of questions about it. Because
That has nothing to do with me. I said word for word what you said.
No, you didn't. Because it wasn't, well, my truck would have been there the 25th or the 26th.
That's not what
There
I
is
said.
no
Detective.
question about me on the
Y'all drop
25th.
his link, please.
I didn't show up until at least 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 26th, period.
Can you just clarify the situation, Chris? Like what exactly? You show up on the 26th. They go for open networks. Like what was the story? Just so it doesn't go further. And
So-
Unfortunately, it looks like they took the bait. We're now rehashing the truck Wi-Fi situation, something which was perfectly cleared up within the first 30 seconds of the call. That's why I can confidently say that this is a manipulation tactic. The only upside of this annoying tactic is that it's a great tell that you're hitting on something sensitive to Chris. So hopefully panels in the future will have seen my video and can recognize it when he does it. The easiest way to shut down this sort of deflection tactic is to simply agree with him, like Truth was trying to do here. Yes, Chris, your car connected to the Wi-Fi on the 26th, not the 25th. Now about Katie, what is she doing behind the scenes, since you said she was doing something behind the scenes rather than shouting from the rooftops?
26 when I got there, okay? I went and talked to the detective, probably, I don't know, I wasn't even home maybe in 30 minutes, and I went and talked to the detectives, okay? Later on that day, I mean, there was, like we've said before, there's been people in and out of that house quite often. They brought in their special little tools and their gadgets, and they do what they do. When they saw that there was my truck's internet on their system, they were like, well, this is a new one. Well, no shit, because it's my truck.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
My truck doesn't need to be in anybody's conversations about where it was, when it was, and how it was.
Chris, did you hear me say that I don't believe that Chris had anything to do with Sebastian? Okay. So then in saying that, when I spoke about your truck, do you think I was insinuating that you had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance?
No,
I mean,
not what I said, Drew. That's not what I said.
I know.
No,
So my point is, it was said that your truck was there. I explained that they did because you told me that they did the geofencing thing for the 25th and 26th. Okay. Am I right?
I didn't tell you exactly what dates. I told you when they did it. However, what I'm telling you is don't insinuate my truck or me on the 25th or the morning of the 26th.
I didn't. So why are you still stuck on that?
I mean, Drew, to be fair, like I'm really trying to focus on the chat because I know we have trolls. And there are people saying that you kind of were insinuating. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of felt that too.
And that's why I was confused. I was like, what? I really was.
Me and Bonnie were both like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like,
Go back and say what I said.
Hold on. You do have a way of saying things like this mysterious fucking chocolate in a like fucking Valentine box. Like, what the fuck am I going to get? I don't know until I bite. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, you do insinuate when you speak.
I mean, I guess what's okay is that we can grill Seth to the end, but we can't grill Chris and we can't grill Katie.
No, I don't think anybody's saying that.
No,
hold on. I'm going to stand. I have the right to say my own opinion. I'm not saying y'all agree with me, right? But it's interesting to me that Seth has been accused of horrible things with Katie. Seth has been accused of being abusive. Hold on. Can I finish, please? Just 1 second. Seth has been accused of being physically abusive with Sebastian. Chris has been accused of these things. But what we're arguing is a truck being in the area. That's what made you jump up here. Not all the other accusations. But
So
the
once
way
again,
that
yeah.
the
So
truck.
we'll address that real quick. It's real simple. What goes on in our family is not the public's business. We're not going to sit here, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you what in the world goes on or what happened in the past or any of that nature. That is not the public's business. I'm not going to sit up here and do what Seth did. That's not happening.
So wait.
I don't care if it offends or hurts somebody's feelings, that God forbid the parents between Seth and I'm not going to sit here and bash Seth. I'm not going to sit here and put out personal information. That's nobody's business. How many people out there in all of these things have all said the same thing, that it should have never happened? And it's correct. It shouldn't have.
Okay, so geo tracking is where they can track everything, like where you're at the real time, your real time location. They don't really need services. There you go. Okay. And a lot of businesses and law enforcement use that to keep up with their people. So say like Chris had used a truck or something, they would be able to go back and track that in real time and see if that work truck came to Tennessee or the routes exactly or anything like that. You're fine, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope Roger's doing a little bit better today. I hope you're getting some rest. Yeah, and here's these where you can print out the missing posters online. Seth is asking that if anybody could just do 10, do 5 in your area. You know, somebody somewhere may see Sebastian. They strongly believe Sebastian is alive. It don't matter what I think or what anybody else thinks. The point is, we need to stay on this. We need to stay on keeping his name and face out there. If he's out there somewhere every day and every minute and every hour, he's out there. If he's not in danger now, he could be in very serious danger very soon, in my opinion. Let's see what this says. It's got something that Chris said during the Elevated Truth panel where he said, people have said this shouldn't have happened. And he stated that it shouldn't have happened to a question to. Yeah, I mean, and that's coming from Chris. Oh, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. There's the number again. Any information? Let me see this one. Hold on. As to was there an accident that happened Sunday night or early Monday morning? What got me about it in the beginning was that Sebastian would have went with his daddy that following week. Yep. And then Ricky said, I'm going to say this and just be done with it, and I'll never change my story. Chris and Katie know where Sebastian went. Amen. And where he is. Amen. No matter if he's with us or he's not. And I always say it like that because there's hope. I always hope. And every day I have more hope. But here, I just think we got to be realistic. I don't know. So that's just me. But there is a lot of hope out there. And the more I hear every day, I have to balance both. I have to look at both sides. That's just me, in my opinion. But I haven't changed yet. Nobody has made me change my mind yet. If Chris goes out and searches, that means nothing to me because he went out and searched after this interview 10 months later. That means nothing to me. And nothing. And 10 months later, okay. We only saw what we saw on a short clip. It's all good. Okay?
I agree.
It doesn't do anything.
Well, and comparing what Seth goes through, there's a shit ton more people that are accusing Chris and Katie. Look at them in your chat. Fucking
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not.
been in
Listen,
here
hold on.
before.
It's
Hold on.
wild in
Why don't-
there. Like,
It
I
is.
mean, your
and then
chat-
you're saying, oh, Seth doesn't care if people talk about him. Tell me he fucking doesn't when I'm paying a lawyer for an injunction.
yeah,
When
that's
he
a
sent out
lie.
6
That's
And on
cease and
top of it,
desist.
a bold
True.
faced lie. He
It's
cares.
not about you. I'm just
Well, I will say
saying.
the truth. You and I, we've had our conversations, and
It's
we
not about
respect each other
anybody
enough to
but
understand we
Sebastian.
don't
Sure.
always agree, and we don't always
Absolutely.
disagree.
For sure.
But when your chat and my phone blows up,
Unfortunately, it looks like Chris's little tactic worked perfectly. We're no longer talking about Katie at all. The panel is now totally on the defensive.
Refocused.
That said, I've received plenty of comments on X, the DD forum, and YouTube telling me there's plenty more to this interview. So I might have to fast forward till they get back on track. So if you want a part 2, let me know by liking the video and sharing. For my analysis of the Proudfoots on Nancy Grace, click the video on your screen now. Until next time, stay true.
I say go over there and wait till this live's over, but I say go over there and tell him you want a part 2 because we all know there was a lot that night. And he's a very busy guy and he sorts through all this stuff, and hey, it's just an opinion and something to hear, right? But that is what he does. So there's that. Yeah, Ricky said, and Chris and Katie know that law enforcement and no one else is going to find Sebastian. So that's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know how they're supposed to know that, but that's what they say. And they don't seem too worried to be knocking on their door or, breaking down the phone calls and all that kind of stuff, like ring, ring. They have direct numbers, though. They could be doing that. But we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And that's a fact. We don't. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Did I see where Little Lodge called Sheriff's Department and asked if CP was friends with people employed there? No, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all know Smiley loves that. Third person. I got it. Yeah, yeah, I love it. But I like what he says. I just think we need a part 2. I don't think there was enough of that, and I think he didn't see enough. I think we do need a part 2. But y'all can go over it. Deception Detective, click follow and tell him that's what you want. If my child was missing, I wouldn't care what anyone said or thought about me. Exactly. Without my child, I wouldn't be anything other than devastated, worried, and heartbroken. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely. But there's been a lot going on, and y'all know there's this combined $250,000 reward. Now listen to this. Hold on a minute. CJ was talking about the 155 Equinox, and Actually, Dog had put it out about that today, which I was kind of surprised. Hold on a minute. Let's see. That it was such a big deal. Where is... Okay, so Dog made a post on his official Dog the Bounty Hunter page 9 hours ago. On his official page. And he said, Dog Nation, we need your help to find 16-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, missing since February 25th, 2024. See, and he even says the 25th. I'm telling you, it's all confusing. I'm fixing to get to this phone call in just a minute. There's a $250,000 reward, and he spelled it out, $250,000 reward. Explanation points, explanation points. Focus on these two areas. The 100 block of Economic Way, Gallatin, Tennessee, and the 1000 block of Stafford Court, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Spot anything on these images or got footage, call me at 833-TELL-DOG. That's 835-5364. Or at night, 844-922-3236. Or email sebastian@manhunts.one. And they said, let's bring Sebastian home. And then he has, and you can go over there and look at his link. It's the official Dog the Bounty Hunter page. And he's got all of these all these mapped out. Okay. Throughout there and everything. Okay. Which after, I think that's where they found the glasses and found that they weren't Sebastian's and yada, yada, yada. Seth and his crew way back when they were searching, the search crew, and turned them in, and supposedly Ellie said no, they was not Sebastian's. But it's funny how this address and everything has come into huge play now. Huge play. But CJ was talking on his tonight about that, and he talked about the vehicles that was there and the address when he went there earlier and all the things. I just wonder who that pretty black Avalanche belonged to. That's all I care about, the vehicles. I'm just wondering. That's just me. Just asking. Anyway, he was talking about, he was being confused, the dates, as all of us, because I always say I'm going to read off of this. But as you saw, and this was the original Amber Alert, but as you saw, it said February 26th. Even Dog said the 25th. It's just really totally confusing. And it's nothing that either one of them did, because this has been going on for 10 months. 10 months. Okay. Long before Dog and them ever got in here. It's been totally confusing with the clothes. Why? Everything. Why? But CJ wondered about the dates. Why 2 different dates? And why did they say on here that Sebastian was seen in the area of Stafford Court? That means somebody physically seen him, or a camera got him, right? But yet Ellie says no cameras, no footprints, no nothing. So I can see how this can be very confusing. So there's other places that says different dates. So man, I don't know. The last time that he was saw alive was at Texas Roadhouse, for sure. It could have been taking the garbage out, if that was even him. There's been some doubts there. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm just pointing out facts. I'm like other creators are starting to go, now we don't even know what's what. It's very confusing. But I will tell you this. While CJ was doing that, and please drop CJ's link, because they need to go over there and watch tonight's show. I didn't get to watch all of it because I come on and went live. He may still be live. I don't know. And I don't know if he noticed this or not, but I put it in there. So while he did that, I pulled up the Amber Alert on the missingkids.org. And to me, it was kind of strange because I pull it up all the time. Now, we had this in Summer Wells where there was little problems and this, that, and other. I want to show y'all what I'm talking about, actually. Okay, so. Okay, let's see. Missingkids.org. See, so it may be different sites. This is not pulling up what it pulled up a while ago. Something must be wrong with our computer. Okay, let me see something. Okay, all right, so here we go. All right, as soon as I get into that site, wow, the other stuff wasn't even there. This is just strange. It says something must be wrong with their stuff. But anyway, this led me to my phone call. So as soon as I get in there, even if I was not looking for Sebastian, I don't know if y'all can see that, it says Sebastian Rogers, Hendersonville, Tennessee, issued for him. The alert was issued on February 27th. Okay. When I strolled down before, none of this was here. It had a separate, God, I wish I could show you. Did I not take a picture? Okay, so say like this little lines right here, okay? And what was there earlier was then down here on the bottom. Sebastian was the only one. Down here on the bottom, it had maybe 10 missing kids on Amber Alerts. I don't know. I didn't count them, but maybe let's just say 10. Summer Wells being one of them. They were different places. So I'm taking my phone though, and I'm trying to, because you can see where it says his name. So when I clicked on his name, now watch it come up. I just want to show y'all what I did. Okay, yeah, it didn't do anything. When I click on his name, it went all the way through at the bottom, but it didn't do anything, okay? So to me, that was just weird. I'm not saying anything, okay? They have not found him, anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. So I call and I asked the lady about it. And I said, I'm just confused. I said, I pull up this Amber Alert. And I said, Sebastian Rogers. First of all, I said, it's ironic. That's who I was trying to find, and it came up. I said, but anyway, told her about it, what I just showed y'all. And I said, first of all, I said, is he still on Amber Alert? She said, yes. I said, okay. I said, well, can you explain to me? I said, go down to the bottom. She said, are you on your phone or computer? I said, my phone. So she did. She was seeing the same thing I was seeing, which is not there now, but this is there. But anyway, it had all these names. I said, okay, you have all these kids' names right here. I said, they're on Amber Alerts too, because I don't understand why they're separated. I said, I'm just confused. And she said, yep, they are. And I said, just for example, because Summer was way down here and there was some above. I said, just for example, let's just say Summer Wells. Can you pull her up? I said, she still is, right? And she said, yeah. I said, okay. So I clicked on it because there's a link out there. Sebastian don't have a link. Say like where it says Hendersonville, Tennessee. There's a link down here for them. So I click on the link and it pulls up Summer's picture and stuff. So I told her. And that's not what I want to tell y'all, though. That's not my point. My point is, we got all that straightened out. I felt better. And I said, okay. So I was just confused. I said, you know, the bottom line is he's still on the Amber Alert. That's good. She said, yes. I said, so why does he not have those links? She said she didn't know. I said, okay, well, the most important thing that I want to know that's out here is, was he missing on the 25th or was he seen on the 26th missing? I need to know. And she said, the 26th. And I said, okay. I said, so you're telling me the 25th is the last proof of life, but you're telling me he was seen on the 26th. Is that correct? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, so he was seen in the Stafford Court area on the 26th. She said, yes, ma'am. Y'all know what I think. So I was stunned. I was like, okay, thank you. I was just confused. So then I went back over at CJ's and I can't speak for anybody else. I got the impression maybe people thought maybe he got out and somebody did get him or whatever. That's a whole total different thing from what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if this is true, first of all, who's seen him? They say there's no footage of him anywhere. They said from the very beginning, no, it don't, Millie. It don't make any sense. They said from the very beginning, there's no camera footage. So, I mean, I'm still confused, as should everybody else be, but that's on y'all. So I was thinking, y'all know that ain't good. So I was thinking, he didn't go. Chris told me that night, there's no way. I keep going back to, the police said themselves, he's not on camera anywhere. There's no footprint of him leaving that house, anything. I can't get over the fact, in my personal opinion, that he was kidnapped or run away because he was not on camera anywhere. That's the problem I'm having there. And Katie, again, locked herself inside the house and allowed Chris to do that when he wasn't there. And they both said on my panel that there was no way basically in and no way out. Katie was in there with him, locked in. Nobody could have come in the windows. If Sebastian would have went out the window, they would have heard him. That we would have heard him. Just saying. If he would have went out the front door, we would have known it, because you would have seen the shadow from the door, and you would have also seen, or they would have got it on camera, whoever they was at whichever house, I don't know. So it's just kind of strange to me. What I think is, or what I was thinking is, if somebody saw him the morning of the 26th, This is just a thought. Just a thought. Alive, not alive, because you know how that's how they did Madeline. Okay, drove her around everywhere. I'm just saying, if anybody saw on the 26th, Sebastian, could it have possibly been, and this is just a theory, could it have possibly been for him to be taken out asleep, drugged, play a game, lay down till we get XYZ, and go meet up with somebody else while you're supposed to be looking and trade him? That's just what I'm asking, thinking, or whatever. I haven't really had much time to think into it, but it is a possibility. And that is if he was seen in the area of Stafford Court, like they're saying. But who reported that? Because if it come out of Katie and them's mouth, I sure ain't going to believe that. If it come out of any of the family's mouth, I sure ain't going to believe that. I've yet to hear any neighbors say they saw him on their cameras or in that neighborhood or anything that day. But I do have a question. I mean, I told her I appreciate that and everything, but I do have a question. I was thinking if he was taken out and handed over to someone, in my opinion, by mom, and it doesn't mean it's right. But don't forget, others saw mommy socks early that morning. They stayed. That is some witnesses that have actually come forward and say they saw, whether they did or not, and it's allegedly, I don't know. So, but I know she was at the house sooner than reported, and I just find it weird. She was in Gallatin, up there, kind of way on up there, and just happened to find herself down in that area, even if she was called so early in the morning. Real quick. I'm just saying. But I also had this thought, so what if I'm going out to look, or make it look like I'm going out to look, I swap him off, and then the other person swaps him off. That person goes back to Katie and Chris's house because Chris called mommy socks. But what I would like to know is, when all this hell was breaking loose and Sebastian was missing and Katie was in a frantic, hysterical panic, and Chris called his mother and said and told everybody and his mother to get down there, where was Terry Poppy Socks? Where was Poppy Socks at that point? Could there have been several trade-offs that morning? Boom, 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 out of one car to the next? I don't know. Drop off. Mommy socks rush back to the house. But I'm just asking, where Where was Poppy Socks? Anybody know? I feel like something strange is really going on here. And where's the fixer? The one that fixes everything, even before Sebastian got to missing. Where was Big D? Did he come give his support to Katie that morning? Or was he off taking care of something else? I'm just wondering. You never know. You never know. So, where was Papa Socks? Why was he not there? Everybody's so frantic. Oh, so Mama Socks, she wanted to know about jewelry. Would Chris buy her jewelry? Let's see, that would have been 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. 7 hours or less, and she's worried about jewelry. Would her boy buy her jewelry? Some wondered if that was a code for something. I don't know. I think it's very interesting. But now, per Dog the Bounty Hunter, he puts out all of this post and stuff up there around that area, 155. And who would have thought? Who would have thought? It's just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Hold on, somebody sent something else. I don't know. It's okay. Just, get screenshots. Also today, I think it was Sweet, and she was asking me, could I get in touch with Julia and ask her something, the dog handler. I'm not sure how to do that, but I was more than glad to go and try to find some information on this, some answers that she wanted. And I did write them down. Cadaver dogs are able to locate human remains due to the chemicals. There's 2 chemicals in their body that are produced during decomp. And this is only just if. It was a question asked to me, so I'm just going to get into this just a minute. She wanted to know could they get under concrete, smell under concrete or something like that. The short answer is yes. Absolutely, they can, even if it's encased in concrete block or a pile of debris or ashes, they can. Dogs can be trained to sniff out the smell of the chemicals with the precision. And yes, that was the big answer. Yes, they can smell through concrete. They can detect, so I went on further, they can detect the scent of a human remain within minutes after death and for hundreds of years after. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. They can detect it minutes to hundreds of years after. Cadaver dogs can detect those remains even thousands of years old. Of course, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't be here no 1,000 years now. But that's what scientists, that's what they say. That's what they're saying. Cadaver dogs are able to detect remains at all stages of decomp, whether they are buried, cover, mask, or somebody tried to mask them with scents or anything like that. Yeah, I know, me either. That's why I'm doing my research. Thank you for that. Actually, they can also distinguish human remains from other animals, and the factors that can affect the strength or death odor and how quickly it deteriorates. Temperatures cause that, humidity, the shortness of hardness on the ground, and things like that. But well-trained cadaver dogs will not flag a living person or a living animal. They say, what is the success rate? Now, I'm just telling y'all what I found. 55 to 95%. 55 to 95%. This eliminates any possibility that the handlers were intentionally or unintentionally influencing the dogs. The study revealed considerable variation and success rates ranging from 55 to 95%. And again, everywhere you look, 55 to 95%. They use a lot of bloodhounds, the Labrador, Retriever, German Shepherds. I think, didn't they use bloodhounds over there? But they was not cadaver dogs. They were not cadaver dogs. And from my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they use cadaver dogs, though. Yeah. Animal decomp smells different from human decomp. Big difference. Absolutely. But some people try to cover things up with that, and it says that they absolutely still can smell under that, even if they've tried to cover it up. Trained canines can detect a unique scent from human cremations. I didn't know that. So even if a human is cremated, say in a completely destroyed house fire, the dog can still find them. And I'm just learning this myself. That was interesting to me. How far can a dog smell? I want to get this. A dog's nose can detect scents as far as 40 feet underground and as much as 80 feet underwater. That's 40 feet underground and 80 feet underwater. And a dog's, yeah, they sure can. When cadaver dog finds human remains, they will typically alert their handler with a specific signal like setting, barking, indicating the location of the remains. This allows the handler to then investigate the area and further recover the body or body parts. Amazingly, they do know the difference between animals and people. So, and they can also detect residue scents. What that is if a body or a body part was placed there in a certain place and then moved by somebody, the kill, whatever, the dog can still identify that smell is the death area. And that provides like LE and stuff to gather all their information and sometimes close these cases for, good reason. Circumstantial, whatever. If they know, they know. So again, someone asked me for this information, and I hope this was helpful. Is what I could come up with. And everything about Sebastian's case is very concerning to me. Everything. I pray Sebastian is alive. I pray Sebastian is well, and that he has not had to suffer if he's alive. Wherever he's at, I hope he's being well taken care of. And why anyone with a missing child or a stepchild would know anything about concrete, how wide, how long, how deep it's got to be, and when you pour the concrete and let it set, and how long it's got to set, and talks about that. That would be beyond me in my wildest dreams, especially when a child from their household is missing. That would be the very last thing on your mind. Just saying. So I don't know. I don't know if that was even possible or not, or that happened or not. I'm just getting the information together and giving it out. But again, if you have any information on Sebastian, nothing's too small. They can get what they need. Thank you, Jen. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, they are accurate. I believe they're accurate too. Not yet. It's been kind of crazy, but I did pull up some, but I haven't got a chance to really look into it. But I'm going to. I'm sorry. I'm going to. It has been, because now I've been trying to do some things since I got home, and I've been running. I just want to sleep. I just want to sleep. That's all. But I will. But if you have any questions, y'all, or think you know anything about Sebastian Rogers, or even anyone, and I'm throwing this in here myself, I'm taking it up on myself, surrounding Sebastian Rogers, or what could have happened the 25th of February or the 26th. And if you think he was seen on the 26th somewhere, please get that information out to law enforcement. You can call 1-800-TBI-FIND. You can also call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and your local FBI. You can do 833-TELL-DOG. But you need to report. You need to figure it out, and don't let it sit. If you see something, say something, please. And again, there's a combined $250,000 reward. Okay? So if you have any information, get that out. Keep his name and his face out there. Print his posters. Put them wherever. Okay? I really, really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. There'll be a lot on replay because a lot of people's playing tonight. And let's get this information out about Sebastian. Okay? All right, y'all have a great night. Love you. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Good night.